Okay, guys and gals, for those watching, kind of giving the big clue here, but this is a piercing probe public service announcement case study. And what we've got going on here, I had a car recently towed in to the shop, and so this is a rundown. A 2008 Suburban, it is a 5.3 engine. Another shop received the vehicle. It was towed into them with a crank no start. Shop began working on it, and they ended up replacing the fuel pump, and they still had a no start condition. Shop ended up replacing the ECM, and they now have a no crank condition. Customer then decided to take the vehicle elsewhere, and that's how the vehicle arrived at our place here. So first thing we did is we went ahead and scanned for codes, and you can see all the codes that are listed there. Ones that were pretty important that I saw there was a P0633, the immobilizer key not programmed. That's probably why we didn't have a crank condition. So went to service information to look up the proper procedure for ECM setup and theft relearn. So we went ahead and got the equipment out, got it all set up, and then we went ahead and tried to start the vehicle. Now we have a crank no start. Okay. So first thing I normally do will be to go out there and see if we've got spark, and I could hear the fuel pump actually running, but we had no spark. So I went to the underhood PDC, started checking fuses, and I found a number of fuses that did not have any power to them at all. Primarily these here, 4, 8, 13, 1824, and actually number 5 had no power. Got them all listed there. So we go to the service information to look up the wiring diagram, and we can see that all of these fuses here are powered through the what's called the powertrain control relay. Looks like we've got B plus here at the top at 85 and 30. 86, then if we run that down, we can see that circuit 5991, and that goes to ECM, ECM connector X1 at pin 59. And so the ECM would basically pull this circuit low to enable the to close the contacts in the relay, giving power to all of these circuits here. So we take a deeper look at the wiring diagram, take a closer look there. And there's all of our fuses that basically we were missing power on. So that seems pretty straightforward. Went ahead and, we can determine we had no power from the powertrain relay. So there's the underhood fuse block. That's what it looks like. So what I normally do in this situation is I have a go-to tool here. That's the U-Activate unit from AES Wave. Pretty awesome tool. Basically, I can unplug the relay and plug into this circuit, and actually I can energize the circuit, run the load out, but more importantly, we have the field circuit or the control circuit that I can also monitor as well. So I went ahead and plugged this thing in, turned the key on, and I was expecting to see this light turn on. Light did not turn on. Okay. So I took went ahead and grabbed my meter, and I checked, and I had power on both sides of this. So that's a good sign. So if we go to the wiring diagram, you can see I had power here, I had power here, looking for this circuit to go low. And so, I'm on to something here. So this vehicle was towed in right towards the end of the day. It is out in the parking lot. It's a big Suburban. End of the day, it's starting to rain. And so I decided at this point, I'll go ahead and just energize turn the U-Activate unit on to run power to all the fuses and try to start the car, and it started right up, which is awesome. So went ahead and pulled the vehicle in, parked it overnight, came back the next day, decided to just take another look at another wiring diagram just to make sure that we're doing a sanity check here to make sure everything's good. This is a diagram out of all data, and pretty much shows us exactly the same thing. There's the powertrain relay. There is all of the other things that it's also powering up, fan relays, all these fuses, and so on. And we knew we had to go take a look at the circuit. And this wire, although it's colored yellow here, it is a yellow wire. And so I needed to find out where that pin is, and it's pin 59 at connector X1. So we go back to the service information and grab a pin out and take a look, and we can see pin 59 is right there. So we went ahead and unplugged the ECM, got a meter and the right size probe, stuck it in this terminal socket, and looked for power, and all we had was 2 volts there. So that was kind of odd. We're expecting 12 volts, right? So if we go back and look at the wiring diagram, yeah, we should have 12 volts here. Didn't see any other connectors in this circuit here for high resistance, so it was time to start digging into the wiring harness. Unfortunately, the PDC is located in the left side of the engine compartment. ECM is probably about 1.5 feet or maybe 2 feet away from the PDC. So there's a big harness going down there. So started pulling the harness apart to take a look, and I found the problem. And basically, we found that there was high resistance in this in the circuit. And closer look, I found that somebody had inserted a piercing probe into this wire at some point, and it actually made a pretty big hole. So somebody had a pretty fierce piercing probe there. But what happened is what they undid it. And by the way, this vehicle is from Colorado. It's in a pretty harsh environment. So this wire left exposed just started to corrode, and it basically eventually just opened up the circuit there. This thing doesn't carry a lot of current, but there it created a no start condition for this vehicle. So my caution here is that, and I myself, I've used piercing probes, but the point here is that when you do use a piercing probe, please honor the circuit and make sure that you're returning the vehicle back to service. You're piercing the wire just enough to get a measurement out of it, and when you need to seal it back up, use the right stuff to seal it up. There's a number of recommendations out there. You can go on Diagnostic Network and ask some questions there to see what their recommendations are. But you want to seal that circuit up and secure it from the elements. So I hope that you found this interesting. Thank you for watching. And if you want to find more information like this, please go visit Diagnostic Network and take a look. I think you'll like what you see. Thanks again for watching.